Do you have an interview to prepare for? If you're like me, you might be wondering what are some great tips that could actually help you prepare for the interviews? Well, keep listening and keep watching because in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that you can do that can actually help you ace your next interview. Hello, I'm Patrina and I'm a career coach. I'm passionate about helping new immigrants and aspiring immigrants in Canada be able to navigate the Canadian job system by providing them with actionable steps that they can use to be able to help them land their next role. If you are brand new here, welcome. My name is Patrina. If you're a returning subscriber, I'm excited to have you. Thank you so much for coming back and watching and sharing and communicating. Hello, I'm Patrina and I am a career coach. I am passionate about helping new immigrants and aspiring immigrants to Canada be able to understand how to navigate the Canadian job system. Some of the ways that I do that is by providing you with actionable steps, step-by-step strategies that you can take to actually help you understand how to leverage your transferable skills, navigate the Canadian job system, and actually thrive in your role once you actually land your dream job. Okay? If you're brand new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for watching and joining us. We're so excited to have you here. One of the things that I would love for you to do, especially if you're brand new, is to subscribe. Please click on the notification bell and the subscribe button below, yes, below, and turn on the notification bell so that you're actually notified when we provide you with brand new videos and reels. So excited to have you here. So let me get into the video. That's why you're here. So you sent in your application and the recruiter has reached back out to you and told you that the hiring manager and their team are actually ready to interview you. Isn't it such a great feeling when you're actually invited to an interview? There's some key things that can actually prepare you so that you show up as your best self and you execute well and you get chosen for the exact role that you're interviewing for. In this video, I'll be talking about 5 things that you can do to actually prepare and ensure that you are the successful candidate. So the very first thing that I want to talk to you about how you can prepare for the interview is that you actually need to take time to prepare. It's really important to make sure that you actually do some research about the company. I have another video where I talk about some things that you might be doing on your job search that is actually causing you to not get called back, right? And preparation is one of them. So in this video, the reason why I want to talk about preparation in regards to interviews is that when you think about it, interviewing, you only have half an hour to an hour with someone that you've never met before. But one of the ways that you can release your nerves before the interview is make sure that as part of your job search plan, you take time to practice After you've researched the company, you take time to practice your responses. Why? The better As I was saying, the most important thing in preparation step is that you need to take time to practice your responses. Why? Because communication is so important. And with communication, there are several key things. There is the verbal, speaking, your diction, your enunciation. There is the nonverbal, how your body posture is, if you are showing as angry, uninterested, enthusiastic, looking forward to being there, right? So you want to practice that. So by the time it comes to the interview time, it's going to be very natural for you to just be able to speak fluently without any ums and ahs, as an example, enunciating, not rolling over your words. Very important. And communication really helps you stand out from others. The second part of practice is you want to try as much as possible to actually pace yourself. Take deep breaths, breathe as you're speaking. And then you also want to make sure that when you're practicing, you might want to record yourself, see how and hear how you sound and look, and then see how you can take one thing that you can improve on for the next time that you practice your interview. And with preparation, it really just helps you stay positive and it gives you confidence. So rather than winging it for the interview, make sure that you actually take time and you practice. 30 minutes a day is all you would need to practice. Ask yourself interview questions and respond to the interview questions until it becomes second nature. The second thing that you want to do to make sure that you are having a really great interview experience is to actually show up on time. That's very important, right? And how can you do that? You want to either do a recce. Oh, yeah, I love that word. You want to do a reconnaissance. So you want to try and go to the location a day or two before. See how long it takes you to get there. If you're driving, see how long it takes you to drive. If you're taking the bus, see how long it takes you to get to the bus, to get to the location if you're taking the bus. Why? Because if you have already tried to get there and you know how long it would take for you, then that will help you be punctual and get there on time. You want to make sure that you're there at least 10 minutes before the interview, and you want to be friendly when you get there. And you also want to make sure that when you are when you're trying to be punctual, it will help set you up for success, right? Never think that you have more time than you do. The third thing that I would like to tell you about that can help you be successful on your interview is to actually try and build rapport with the interviewer. How can you do that? You can look at their LinkedIn profile or see if you can find any news related to the company and to maybe some hobbies. That way, the reason why you want to kind of do some research about the interviewer is you want to see if you have any common interests. You want to see if you have any common things, extracurricular activities that you might be doing that you can kind of weave into the discussion. When you get into the interview, you want to shake their hand, you want to be warm, you want to be open, and you want to establish rapport. You want to also mirror their body language that they are doing and their pace of conversation as well. But in terms of building rapport with the interviewer, you want to try as much as possible to not give short, one-word yes, no answers. Go in with some excitement and your personality. Let them know who you are and how you and them can work effectively and efficiently together. Be warm, be open, be engaging. And one of the ways that you can do that and build rapport is actually listening to the questions that they're asking and the responses that they give to some of the questions that you give. Near the beginning of the interview, you want to see how you can make sure that the rapport that you're building keeps them engaged and enthusiastic to want to learn more about who you are and the value that you're bringing to the organization. Some other ways that you can build rapport is by talking to them about some of the key initiatives that they're doing on the company, or events, or some key things that you've seen in the news that have been positive. This will allow you to kind of stand out in their mind. The fourth thing I want to tell you that can help you be successful in your interview is to actually relax in the interview. I know you're meeting these people for the very first time. You don't know what they're like. You don't know what the culture is like. So it can be very nerve-wracking. And as one of those things, you might be sweating, you might be feeling like, oh no, I don't know what to say and I don't want to mess up and this is the one opportunity that I have. No, don't think like that. Just relax. It's very important to relax. One of the things that you can try to do is really try breathing, right? Breathing is great, and try as much as possible to remain calm when it comes to the interview. This will allow you to make sure that you're not speaking too fast or too slow, and will allow you to stay enthusiastic and engaged throughout the interview. One of the other things you can do to allow you to relax is to actually practice. Remember, this goes back to the preparation step, preparing and practicing, building your confidence and being confident, but open and empathetic in the interview. So one of the things that can help you is, even if you're nervous, there's some things that you can do to actually look confident. And some of the things that you can do to look confident and show up as confident are the following. Make eye contact when you're speaking and responding to your interviewer's question. Hold their gaze. Not in a creepy way, but you want to hold their gaze and make sure that you are connecting with them and being paying attention. The second thing that you can do to relax within the interview is actually take your time and really listen to the question that they're asking you. And if you need further clarification, ask them for the clarification before you start speaking and going off on a tangent, right? So really listen and see how the responses that you've prepared ahead of time and practice, how you can modify it to the type of question that they're asking so that you can give them the most appropriate response. The third thing that you can do to relax within the interview is to actually try not to cut off the interviewer, especially if they're giving you a question and you think that you know what they're going to say after, or you know where they're heading. Just let them finish, and when they're speaking, try as much as possible to let them finish as well. And the fourth thing that can help you relax in an interview is taking time to think through your response before actually starting to give your response. I know sometimes there's like some awkward silence, and you might be feeling like, oh, I need to respond right away. Sometimes silence is golden, and take your time, pause, think through your responses, see how the stories that you've prepared ahead of time, how you can break it up and modify it to be able to best answer the question that's being asked. The fifth thing is try as much as possible within the interview to be respectful. It's important for you to respect everybody that you meet, from the security man or woman all the way to your receptionist and anyone that you meet within that organization. You never know, they might have someone's ear. And being respectful is also in terms of trying to make sure that the responses that you give within the interview are appropriate to the culture and the organization that you're interviewing for, right? And an added bonus that I want to provide is within an interview, they'll always ask you if you have questions. Never leave that opportunity without actually coming prepared with a list of possible questions that you can ask. Some types of questions that you can ask are, for example, based on the economic factors that are happening, how has your organization been able to survive? And what are some of the things that you're looking for the successful candidate to achieve within the next 30, 60, and 90 days? That will give you a gauge as to what are some of their priorities and what are the things that you need to focus on within the first 90 days of starting that role. And you can also ask questions that speak to their experience and their understanding of the culture within the organization. Ask them questions about what has made them thrive and been successful, and what are some potential characteristics of successful candidates that they anticipate would be successful in the interview. And you always want to make sure that in your responses, you're actually indicating that you're enthusiastic and you are excited to actually work there and why you are a great fit for the role. So make sure that you tell them that you are a great fit and why you are a great fit, right? So listen to the questions. Make sure that your responses are modified from your preparation stage. And then you want to make sure that as you're wrapping it up, you want to ask if there's any clarifying questions, or if there's anything that throughout the interview they need clarification on, or is there anything that could cause them not to move you forward, right? Seems a bit counterintuitive, but at that point, you're in the interview. They can't tell you why they wouldn't hire you, but within the interview, they can highlight if there are some areas or gaps that they felt came up in any of the questions and responses that you gave. And that can also give you an opportunity to try to wrap it up nicely and provide them with a really great example to really cancel out any of the red flags or thoughts that they would have as to why they shouldn't hire you. So today I talked to you about, today the purpose of this video was to talk to you about 5 things that can actually help you be successful in your next interview. The first one was to prepare for the interview. The second one was to tell you that it's really important when you have an interview to be on time. Punctuality is golden, and employers really appreciate that. The third point that I raised to you is that it's very important to build a connection and build a rapport with your interviewer. And I gave you some practical ways that you could do that. The fourth thing that I highlighted that can make you successful in your interview is to actually relax within your interview. And the fifth thing that I want to leave with you today is that within an interview, it's important for you to make sure that you're respectful. And the bonus that I provided is that you want to make sure that you never go to an interview without having a list of questions that you want to ask them, right? So thank you for watching. I'm very thankful for you watching my video. So one of the things I want you to do is comment down below. Do you have an interview coming up? Is there anything that we might have missed? And if you've had an interview recently, what is one thing that really helped you stand out in your interview? Share it so that we can also learn. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell to be notified when we have new videos. Until I see you next time, have a lovely day.